Hi, so my name's Suzanne Day and I run a business and a charity for stopping domestic violence, and I also am a healer. So today I'm going to do a video about the healing for trauma and repair. So I stand in the power of my soul and I see and act as the Creator does. I am the Creator. Rescue and harmonious developments for the world and all beings. I seal and protect this space with my life shield, which I activate now. I am protected from evil eyes, evil intent, and low vibrational beings and energy. And I also use the numbers 8888 for divine protection. I now place these numbers around my auric field for protection. This healing is done with permission from each soul before it is commenced. All those who do not wish to take part can simply say no, and they will not receive this energy. And this healing technology is not a replacement for medical or psychological treatment, but it's to be done in conjunction with it, as when you work on the spiritual realm, it also allows it to happen in the physical realm. And the information in this course is from my Genome Healing course and my own personal downloads. Okay, so I believe that we're on earth for the purpose of returning ourselves back into love and to learning our life lessons, and that we need to learn to love ourselves and others in the best way that we can, and that this is one of our most important life lessons that we need to learn from our earth journey. And our cells store all of the remembrances of shocks, traumas and loss until we release and heal them all. And if we do not work on this, these experiences will all turn into physical illness, obsessions, fears, conditions, compulsive behaviors, and also depression. And all conflicts that we have in our life are stored in our cell, memories, organs, body systems, minds, and auric fields. And if we do not heal and resolve this, it will get worse in time. And this has been found to happen in the emotional reflex center in the brain, which corresponds to all emotional experiences like anger, frustration, and grief. And these emotions can break down within the organ in the body that is connected to that part of the body. And when this is happening, it can send in the wrong information to that organ that is connected to and controls that part of the body. This then creates a deformed cell in the tissue in the body. And Dr. Reich Gerard Hammer has found through his research in patients that all illnesses have a psycho-emotional conflict prior to the onset of the physical illness and condition. But once the conflict is resolved and healed, the body will instantly heal itself back to the perfect blueprint of the Creator's norm. And a book I found really helpful that talks about trauma from the world's expert on trauma and complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It explains in simple terms with pictures to show what happens to the brain when triggered and after trauma. And this doctor took scans of people's brains to research what actually happens so that he had real evidence to use. And I found this book so good because he explains what was happening to your brain and your body and why you react the way you do, and that it's actually an automatic response in your brain, and that it's actually an injury to your brain. And this is from the world's expert on this condition. And this doctor has spent his life treating patients with this condition. And the book is called The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk, and that's the book here. And it's Mind, Brain and Body in the Transformation of Trauma. So that's the book. And before I read this book, I couldn't understand what was happening to me and why I would react the way I was and why nothing seemed to help me. And so I found this book really helpful because it just explained to me in clear, simple terms what was happening and what needed to happen for me to get better. And another book I found good was What Happened to You, which is actually by Bruce Perry, MD. PhD, and it's also from Oprah Winfrey, and it's got real life cases of trauma and what was done to help heal and help survivors with this condition. So that's another book that can be a resource and I found helpful. And I'm now going to use a process from my course. I now see the hurt, the sadness, and all emotions that are holding all of these trauma stories up. These are underneath the responses that have been working to keep you safe from harm. And I'm removing all shock that has been stored in your body, cell memories, and field. I'm closing down all doubt and fear that are in your mind, body, and consciousness. And I am removing all guilt, shame, blame, and suffering that you hold to yourself and others. And you no longer need to hold on to suffering in your field and to take on other people's troubles as your own. And you're not responsible for other people's problems. So it's safe for you to release this burden that you carry and to just take care of yourself now. And I'm now sending love to these energies that I feel so that I can now release these and they are transformed and healed. And I'm healing all anger, blame, shame, grief, and resentment that anyone has felt. And all psychological control and drama stories are removed from all fields now in this time and date into infinity. And I now release this suffering in all lifetimes. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. And so it is. And I see all of these emotions that are stacked up together in fear, which are stored in the body, mind, and cell memories. And I am now dismantling all of these beliefs and blocks that have been in your field, mind, cells, and auric field. And I see the hopelessness, the powerless, the uselessness, the emptiness that's underneath holding up all of these dysfunctions. And I see the flight response of not wanting to be here and in your body as you don't feel safe to be on the earth plane. And I'm now sending love to these energies to acknowledge and accept them for what they are and to give them a voice so they feel heard. And I say to these feelings, I see you and I hear you now. And I now resolve these feelings so they have a new understanding of what these feelings are teaching you about your life and how you can move forward. And I am now transforming these energies back into love. I see the matrix holding all of these feelings up, and I now dismantle and dissolve all of these now. So it is sent back into love. I also command for this intent to take place, this time and date into infinity. I collapse all dysfunction, beliefs, fears, feelings, and agreements now that have been in all timelines. I am sending love to my root chakra from my heart to help it feel grounded and safe again to be in my body. I validate and love myself, my inner child, now, sending in the God ball to restore all to the norm of perfection blueprint that we were created with. And all discorded thoughts and feelings held in your body, mind, and soul that are in your cellular memories, I say, I release you all now and I replace you with the perfect blueprint in which you were made from God. I see in my mind's eye every cell and organ in my body of perfection this time and date, which is today, into infinity. Now everything is working perfectly for you. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. And I now release the belief that if I heal myself completely, that there will be no evidence of my real trauma and that people will not believe me as to what really did happen to me, and that I will not be believed and supported anymore. I release all feelings of being paralyzed in my thoughts and beliefs. And now I see all the collars that have been worn around my neck in obedience. They are now all released and open, so I am now a free being. I am learning to grow from all difficult life learnings I have had, and I am removing all oaths, vows, decrees, pacts that I have made in all lifetimes, in secret societies and groups, churches and clubs. And I remove all oaths and threats of death that have been made against me and others in all lifetimes and dimensions. And I now cut all of these contracts up that have been made. They are now all null and void in all timelines. All rituals of slavery, being in a prisoner state, agreements and incentives are now cut with the sword of God, this time and date, into infinity. All sacrifice rites are all now removed from all lifetimes. I see all secrets made and held in my field that are not for the good of all and the world. And I will not bow down to anyone ever again. I am free, a free being, living in the universe, connected to all there is. All agreements for violence and abuse to take part upon me are now broken, and I see them now null and void. The contract is all ripped up, this date and time, into infinity. All traumas from any and all witch hunts and trials on me and others are now released and cut in this time and date into infinity. I release all devastating effects of all traumas, accidents, losses, deaths in all lifetimes. I am now healing and transforming all physical assaults, sexual assaults, and abuse experiences from all lifetimes held by my soul. All feelings of being rejected, abused, abandoned are now freed in all lifetimes. I now remove all traumatic cell memories from cells, organs, systems, hearts, and fields. I am no longer a master, but a free being living in the universe. I have progressed from being a survivor to being a thriver now. All tangled energies from others is now broken free. I am a free being again. Any imbalance in my field is now balanced in all timelines and dimensions. I will never again be burnt at the stake for saying my truth and using my gifts in the world, or kept in captivity as a slave. I am pulling out all roots and threads that have held me down in every lifetime to abuse, sexual assault, or control. I place these roots into the quarantine cube to be cleansed by the affinity symbol, and I send them to the light for transformation. I am bringing relief to this situation now, and I remove the root of all conditions, beliefs, and the need to ever beat myself up ever again. All lost parts of my soul and soul fragments are now returned to me now. I am a whole being and complete again. I see the initial point in time when these traumas started. I see this in my mind's eye now, and I go back 1 hour before this point. I did not participate in these upcoming traumatic events. I went my bright path of the Creator. Our traumatic paths did not cross. I did not participate in either the cause, effect, record, or memory of any of this. I set this now with the light of my soul and the light of the Creator, in front of the backdrop of the Creator's soul. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. I now command all soul fragments lost and broken off from me to come back to me now, and to realign back into their rightful place, back into my soul. All is now realigned and integrated back into the norm of creation. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. There is no need to give away my power to anyone ever again. I will not desert myself for others' sake. It is safe for me to be myself, to be in my body. I remove all punishment pacts that I have made to myself in every lifetime, this date and time, into infinity. I now ask my subconscious to release this need for me now to do this. I ask that all will be revealed to me for understanding and knowledge that I can use to help myself and other survivors to have a better life. I remove all unworthiness from my field now so that I feel worthy of all the good things in life, and I release all separation that I have felt in the world. All mistakes made are forgiven, and I now have new learnings from these experiences to work from. I see the flight-fight response that has been in my field, cells, and mind from many lifetimes. And I see in my first inborn response that tells me if I have the flight, fight, or flee response that helps me to be safe from attack, invasion, and assault upon me, from all harm and threat that will hurt my survival. I see the hypothalamus in my mind, in my mind's eye, and I say to the hypothalamus in my body, in my mind, you are safe now and do not need to continually react only when you are in real life danger. I am turning this permanent response in my body off so that I will remain calm and at peace again, unless I am in real danger. I will now feel safe again to be me. I am no longer under threat for my life and survival. I am returning all of this to the Creator's norm of perfection from the Creator God source. I now see the aldehydes in my body, and I say, balance and return all back into harmony again, with all hormones of the norm of the creation, with the perfect blueprint that we were created with now. I have now reset the emotional nervous system in my body so that it is of the Creator's norm of perfection. And I command for this intent to take place, this time and date, which is today, into infinity. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. It is safe for me to be in my body and to be in my full power. It is also safe for me to feel my feelings again. And I choose to stay in my body and heart so that I will be safe. My heart is pure, and I am holding the white light in my heart space for me and others. My soul is regenerated now back into the love vibration. I am assimilating all my traumas in this lifetime and other lifetimes. I am peeling back all layers that have held me back from success. I am aligned to the secret language of the universe. All secret knowledge lost to me is now returned back to me, and I understand my life's journey and purpose and what I am here to do. And I am asking the power of all that is for permission to receive the secret energies and abilities from the universe. I now swear an oath to myself to look after myself and well-being now to the best of my abilities. I will not sacrifice my body, mind, or soul ever again. I am restoring all to the divine union between my male and female parts of myself in all cells, organs of my body. And I now ask my male and female parts of my body, cells and organs, to send love and compassion to all other parts of my body now. And I set this condition now so that it is a continual bathing in love and peace energy in my body. I see in my mind's eye all the cells and organs cooperating with each other, supporting each other in the best way that they can, resonating openness, and I see all fear and aggression is now healed, resolved, and transformed to the light. I can now love and support my body, heart, soul, and life existence completely now. All is now of the norm of the Creator and of the perfection blueprint that we were created with. I see my body and all chakras in all fields around me in my mind's eye, and I now embody my whole body. I am sending love to all my organs and cells in my body, now coming from my heart, so that my body feels this love emanating around it and is fully grounded. My body is in complete harmony with itself and those around me. All is working for the best of all involved, for me and other beings around me. I am aligned, as are other beings on earth, to love, peace, truth, compassion, kindness, and integrity. I am also placing these vibrations into the physical dimensions on earth for all beings to breathe them in and feel them daily. I now have the key to happiness and good health, which I am downloading into my field. The key to my heart is now open and free. I see it in my mind's eye, and I see this key, for I'm holding it in my hand, so that I can use it when I need it. I am sending in the super stems to the rescue now for wholeness and for all healing to begin to take place in my body now. My emotional field is now healthy and repaired. It is renewed. I set this creation now with the light of my soul and the light of the Creator's soul, this time and date. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. And so it is. And I now remove all conditions for corruption, unfair, unjust, and not being heard or listened to treatment in my fields in all lifetimes. All agreements I have made to be a victim in any way is now removed. All agreements to never get justice and to not be treated fairly are now null and void. I am ripping this contract up now. I command the universe to always provide me with justice and fair treatment from any abuse, assault, violations, betrayals, and traumas now. I am listened to, believed, and helped, and I get justice for all wrongdoings that have been held against me in all lifetimes. I am always treated fairly and with love now. I understand the process of the universe and that I do not need to take revenge or feel anger or betrayed, but to just continue to work on myself and healing my own wounds so that I do better and no longer have this energy in my field, and that way I will not attract that kind of energy. I understand that karma will take care of any wrongdoing against me, and that I have the universe and God has my back and is working for my best interest in all ways now. And I ask my guardian angels to join me now so that I might be assisted and helped in my journey that I take for a happy, peaceful life. And the positive affirmation is everything is working out for the best for me now. And I also ask that I am aligned to the new financial system and that I receive all the money I need to fulfill my goals. And the numbers to chant for immediate solutions is 741. And I now cut all cords that I've shared with this healing group now. I use my hand to cut these energy cords now. I also cut all ancestral lineage that has been attached to this timeline. And I see everyone having all roots ground deeply into Mother Earth, anchored into the Mother Earth from our feet chakras, which are open now. And I bring this earth energy up through all roots, and I fill all entire bodies now to 1 meter above all heads. We are now all perfectly balanced in spirit, heaven, matter, and earth. All that is within and around me is now transformed to the light. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. And so it is. Thank you. And if you like this video, you can push the like button, and you can also subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Thank you.